after being a caretaker for over
Several
a
months,
year,
yes.
today, Kun Thida Thawornset has been elected the real president of the Red Church.
Yes, official. What should have been done a long time ago has finally been done today.
And it's still her. Why? Do you think why?
There are a few reasons. First of all, the other Red Church leaders, they have political engagement. They have other engagement, like Kun Nattawut Saigur is now in the cabinet, and Kun Jatuporn Phromphan, he's an MP, and he also having some legal problem with his status. Kun Veera Musikapong, he is not that active lately. So what we have left is obviously Kun Thida. So there's almost a lock. I understand that the vote today is quite anonymous. Unanimous, I'm sorry, unanimous today.
Yeah, unanimous. It is possible so because among the candidates, Kun Aphiwan Viriyachai was also one candidate, but no one chose him.
Well, he is not well known enough. The Red Shirt, they need someone with some sort of a clout to lead the movement, because this year will be still really important for the Red Shirt movement also. So they need someone who can carry the movement forward.
But besides her political aim, what in the past has formed Kun Thida as she is today?
Well, she was an academic at the Mahidol University a long way back, before the October turbulence, more than 2 decades ago. She was teaching pharmaceutical at the Mahidol University, and at the time her husband, Dr. Weng, was still a student at the same university also. But they fell in love in the jungle.
In the jungle?
After the October 6th incident, a lot of students fled from Bangkok into the jungle to join the Communist Party of Thailand. And Kun Thida, although not a student at that time, she was a lecturer at that time. She has sympathy for the student, and she followed them into the jungle. And she was known to be quite accepted by the Communist Party of Thailand at that time.
Was that because she was an academic?
Well, yes, she was quite well known as a thinker at the time. She was like a brain. The Communist Party of Thailand, they have like the people who can fight and people who can give some advice or become the brain of the movement.
And then how come she
broke up? Yes, after the general amnesty a few years later, everyone came back from the jungle, and the problem between Kun Thida and the Communist Party of Thailand was believed to be triggered by a book that she wrote. That book was called Patak, which means when the jungle breaks up, or something like that. And in that book, she was quite critical of the Communist Party of Thailand, and that's when we believe that the ties between her and the CPT was quite severe.
But then she kind of succeeded her husband's position.
Right. After that, before they left the jungle, they fell in love. Kun Thida and Dr. Wen fell in love in the jungle, and then after they left the jungle, they got married, and also she still pursued her ideology as you may call it a left, pro-left ideology, and then she still kept that ideology until she and her husband joined the so-called Confederation for Democracy. If you remember, it's in 1992. The Confederation for Democracy was the movement that overthrew the government of Suchinta Khrapayut at the time.
So that's why when her husband and the former leaders of the Red Church went to jail, so she took the position of the president in charge.
Yes, she normally she was the one known to be loving, working behind the scene. But after a lot of racial leaders were taken into custody, she also there's nobody left for them to for the racial movement to be clinging to. So she was the only one left that they can provide the leadership to the movement.
And at this time, the Red Church are pushing for the Constitution Amendment and trying to eradicate any consequences of the coup. So her role will be something.